Hello, I'm Lip Lewis, the playwright of Deep Cuts, a story about inheritance, memory, and the quiet wars that we fight to stay seen, all in the backdrop of a Hyde Park record store that holds more than vinyl. Thank you so much for watching.
Morning creatures in a blue-collar city. It happens. Maybe this train only has 5 cars and the odds were in favor. Maybe it was about time you and I were going to bump into each other out of the 11 million people in this city. I don't know, 2011? I ain't good at math.
Maybe. You're really good.
Maybe. I guess.
We should just open a train therapy business at this point. Conversations Anonymous for the emotionally lost.
A business. No, I think this works because there's no money in it.
Fair. But we make excellent bartenders. I've seen them. In the movies and stuff. They listen like you listen.
Except bartenders have to listen to them same drunk dudes telling the same stories over and over and over. I don't think I'd make it through shift 1.
Yeah, but you'd be good at pretending you care.
Yeah. Maybe.
So, are we strangers now, or do we level up to acquaintances?
Strangers. Definitely. Names ruin everything.
Oh. I'll take your word for it.
How about your stories?
What about them?
Don't suppose stories couldn't ruin anything?
That depends on the story.
Tell me a safe one.
Okay. A safe one. My parents left me at a gas station when I was 8. Not on purpose. At least I don't think so. We were on one of those endless road trips that my dad insisted were good for us. Crammed in the back of a minivan that smelled like fast food and melted crayons. I didn't panic. Didn't cry, didn't run after the car like some dramatic movie scene. I just sat on the curb and thought, well, I live here now. That was fine too. I didn't freak out until they came back. Until I saw my mom running towards me, hair wild like a lion, and my dad silent, red-faced. My sisters, they were shouting all over each other, and that was the part that got me. The moment they realized I was gone, I wasn't their daughter, their sister. I was a problem to solve, a wrong turn to fix. They didn't come back for me. They came back for the mess they made. When I moved to Chicago, I wasn't about a big dream or some grand escape. I just found another rest stop. And I've been here ever since. How's that for safe?
The inception of Deep Cuts. There is an actual record store in Hyde Park that I go to all the time. I get all my buttons and pins from there. I love the records there. But many of my family members talk about the history of those record stores and also the period between the 60s and now, and how those record stores, how those Black-owned businesses really shaped the nation of who we are as people. And after 2020, we kind of lost a sense of how to connect with each other, how to understand what we do, having some sense of progress. And I wanted to kind of ask that question again and get people thinking, like, what can we still do to remember ourselves and remember our community? I have always written. It was my form of communicating to people. I had a bit of a speech impediment when I was growing up, and it was my way of communicating to people. And I realized in my poetry and creating plays that people were affected emotionally by the work that I did. So I just became more interested in just changing the moods of people and seeing how I can get a rile out of folks. I was always kind of like a mischievous kid. So getting people to kind of laugh and to cry and to get angry really inspired me, and I just kept doing it. The people that inspire me the most are Black women. I have to put my hand all 10 toes down. Black women shaped me for who I am, particularly my grandmother. She defied every expectation of her growing up, and that led to my mom carrying the world on her shoulders every day just because she believes in a better world, and that really shapes who I am as a person. I know that the church that my family goes to, CUT, is led by Reverend Johnny Coleman, and her saying is my playwriting. It works if you work it. So if I can work the story, if I can work the narrative to get people to work themselves, then let's get the party started. First and foremost, born and raised here, South Side proud. I have this poem that's called I Am Chicago. That was one of the first pieces that I wrote. And I read it every time I start something new because there's something so beautiful about being from a city that has many transitional, it's the nexus of train stations, it's the wayfinding city, it's the city of communication, the city of big shoulders. It's our stories, and I would love for the rest of the world to see that and to see that in me. We have a community, and it's nothing that you can just toss under a rug. I'm Lip Lewis, and you've just experienced Deep Cuts. Please vote for me, and thank you for staying in it.